And I think that kind of goes also with the thought process behind the timeouts, right? People are like, oh, Coach Tomlin, terrible clock management. Why didn't you call a timeout? I think, once again, this is where we all kind of come to that crossroads of offensive perspective versus defensive perspective. For offense perspective, it's call timeouts, save as much time as you can. They're going to score. Let's try to see how much time we can get Russ to have the ball at the end of the game. Defensive mindset, bro, we're going to get this stop. I don't care about none of this. We're going to get a stop. And unfortunately, they had one or two. I want to say they had the fourth down conversion. They had two.
It was 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
They got the 3rd and 7, and then
they had a 4th and 3 and a 4th and 1 on that drive.
That was on the earlier drive. I think that was on the one that they went up 2 scores.
Good call. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, the last one, it was the decision to.
No. I'm talking about the drive where they went and got the lead on us. It was 19-18, final drive. They had a 4th and 3. Jameis Winston hits Jerry Jeudy, and then they had a 4th and 1. What happened on the 4th and 1? I forgot what happened on the 4th and 1.
Well.
And we had the Benny Bishop penalty on it as well when he hits the ball out of Judy's hand.
That was actually genius by him because I think it stopped the clock.
But it gave them more yardage. You got them even closer.
I think that's the point. That they're at a chip shot field goal range. You got to let them score because a field goal has them go up either way. I'm actually surprised they didn't just kneel it out. I think that was stupid by the Browns, but maybe they were worried about, like you said, the snap and everything with the field goal.
There's a lot of elements that go in. And we just saw the Bears lose a game last week. You saw the Bears lose a game last week doing what? Not trying to get closer. Waiting until the end to kick the field goal. It gets blocked.
No, but I mean, you couldn't really get much closer at that point. They were, within the 10. They were like at the 5. I think, the final 2 plays were within the 10. And
I think if you're trying to win the game, you do it how they did it, man.
I don't know. I mean, it at least gave us a chance at the end. We needed more time, though. And I think that use of the timeout was terrible by Tomlin. I think we should have tried to let Chubb score on that first run when he was getting pretty close to the end zone. Because at that point, they have the chip shot field goal. What do you think is the better chance for us to win? They got that 18-yard, 20-yard field goal, and they miss the snap or we block it, or we have Russ with the ball, 2 timeouts, minute 30, 2 minutes left. I think
once again, it
much
depends.
better chance with the offense.
Are you ready? Offensive mindset, defensive mindset.
I think you're just playing the percentages there. Like
offensive mindset, defensive mindset. Once again, are you
an
ready?
18-yard field goal.
Deeks, are you ready? Have the Pittsburgh Steelers blocked field goals this season? Yes or no?
They have. But
have they blocked multiple field goals this season, Deke? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Has the Pittsburgh Steelers on defense created multiple turnovers? The answer is yes. Did they have turnovers in this game? The answer is yes. So to act as if it's like, far-fetched to just believe that, my defense, I play with them, I pay these guys, this is what leads the team, like, he's terrible. It's a terrible decision to just be like, I believe they can make a play.
Actually, at that point, I do.
So that's why I said offensive mindset,
no, but
defensive
when
mindset.
you're within the 10 and you have a chip shot field goal, you need your biggest enemy is the time at that point. The chip shot field goal lets the Browns go up.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we have blocked field goals, but how many field goals have been kicked against us? All
right, so this is my question.
What's the percentage of our blocking?
So once again, it's all going to come down to what you prefer. You would prefer to have your quarterback on the field, potentially run out of time and lose, and it's still the same result versus defense being on the field, they don't get the stop, and now we don't have as much time. You're picking your poison one way or the other. It just depends on your personal preference. That's what I'm trying to say. You prefer your offense on the field at the end of the game. I prefer my defense on the field at the end of the game. It's just a difference of perspectives, baby. That's it.
I mean, sure, it's a preference, but I also think the percentages are way more in the offense's favor at that point with Russell Wilson being your quarterback and having that time and having timeouts.
Okay.
Given that, I mean, they showed the stat on the screen, the amount of game-winning
40 game-winning drives, yeah. And we say it's the highest paid defense, right? We said we got the best player on the planet on our defense, right?
Well, like Let's Go UW was saying, they ain't necessarily playing like it.
Not playing like it, sure. But to act as if we can't sit here and say our defense is a better unit than our offense, at least on paper. At least that's the way the compensation is. At least statistically, that's what it's supposed to be. So why, when I get into this situation, these moments, now all of a sudden I shouldn't believe in them? I shouldn't. If that's the case, why we paying them what we paying them? Split the money on the offense. Let's just try to outscore everybody.
Well, I'm not saying that whenever they were at the 20 or 30 and they had the 3rd and 7, the whole 3rd and 7, 4th and 2 decision. Yeah, I think you do got to just let it play out, but wasting the timeout was terrible. And then once they did get closer to the end zone, that's when you got to pivot. You got to be adjusting like quick on the fly and changing your perspective on things.
I bet.
Cuz once they got to that point, the time's the worst enemy.
Okay.
You got to let them score. You have to, cuz they're either going to score, kick the field goal, and we don't even get the ball because they run out the clock, which I think they should have done. They just should have kneeled it and everything, because at least we did have a chance at the end with 50 seconds left, threw up the Hail Mary. It's either that happens or it kind of played out like it did. We didn't have the timeouts and everything, and we had less time on the clock than we probably could have if we did let them score. It could have been maybe a minute 30 and 2 timeouts if we didn't take the timeout.
Like I said, man, if you're offensive minded, I don't think there's any issue with it at all, bro.
I don't think it's about being offensive minded. I think it's just giving
Deke, I'll let you talk, right?
The best chance to win the game.
So I'll let you talk. For me, the reason why we can agree to disagree is this: as a defender, when should I ever wake up and say I don't think I can get a stop? You've heard the phrase "every blade of grass," a game of inches. That's defense, man. So this ideology of, because of the clock in this situation, just let them score right here, man. Give up the lead. And then let's pray that our offense get it back. You're going to not find a lot of defensive-minded people that are going to agree with that. You'll find a lot of – hold on. You're getting it. You'll get a lot of offensive people, though, like your mindset, because you're quarterback-driven. Who's your favorite? Ben, right? You love quarterbacks. You trust offense. It makes you find comfort, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I can understand why your perception would be that. The same way a lot of fans perceive, just put the quarterback out there, man. Don't matter. We'll figure it out. I get that. All I'm saying is Coach Tomlin has a defensive mind. I have a defensive mind. There are a lot of defenders out there that agree with that decision. And we just say, man, you can't pick and choose because the result didn't work. Now, all of a sudden, it was a turn. No, it's like, bro, gunfighters get shot. You hear Coach Tomlin say it all the time, because you're going to make decisions like that, trusting the guys that you compensate, trusting your best players, who we would all say at the beginning of the season, our defense is better than our offense. That's the vibe you're going to take, man. Not this, let them score, get the ball back, minute 30, and now let's try to get it back. I'm good on that one, man. But that's Coach Tomlin. Like I said, it's difference of opinions with it. That's all.
You can still get the stop, and
you
the
just
Browns
said
still win the
allow
game.
them to score. That's not getting a stop. A stop is I'm getting this ball back. Very different. Very different.
You're saying getting a fumble.
I'm getting a stop, meaning
the
whether
stop
it's a
is they
block
kick the
field
goal
goal
and win the game with time expiring.
That is
Yes,
not
it
a
is.
stop. That's not a stop then. A stop, I could block this field goal. I can force a turnover. All of that happens. But if your mindset is I'm already defeated, then let them score. Hope for the best with offense. That's a defeated mindset. It's personal preference. That's what I'm saying. It's nothing wrong with it. That's just how you perceive it, bro. I'm telling you from experience, man. From being in there with that dude, from a lot of these defenders, man. That's the mindset.
Hey, that's the mindset. That's not necessarily.
What is his track record then, Coach Tomlin? Tell me his track record. Does he win or does he lose? So clearly he knows a lot more than a lot of other people.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying,
I
baby.
mean, it's not necessarily related.
It is, though.
We could talk about late game situations where I don't
How
think
many
he's necessarily
one-score games does he win? He has one of the best percentages of one-score games.
I'm talking specifically about yesterday's game. And I don't think we played the percentages in our favor in the sequence of events those last 2-3 minutes, particularly whenever the Browns got within the 10. And even if we get the stop on defense, they kicked the field goal with time expiring. I don't think that's playing the percentage in your favor to win the game.
Hey, like you said, they're going to kick the field goal and just make it. I'm with you, bro. It's a defeated mindset.
Hey, that's not a mindset the players should have. I agree with you. But
that's why I said we could agree to disagree.
I think it's something the coaching you got to consider that.
So my coach have the
you
defeated
have to
mindset,
have a more
man?
No, you have to have a more bird's eye perspective.
That we can't trust in this defense that I spend how much money? This is the highest paid defense.
No, you're not. It's not about that. It's you're just trying to give yourself the best chance to win the game, because even if you get those stops on defense, they're going to kick the field goal.
And when you block the field goal, like you've already done multiple times this season, then what?
The percentages are in your favor to do that. Just
I get it.
We do block field goals. Our special teams is good.
And the percentages are in your favor that you're going to march when you've been struggling all night to protect versus that.
Russell Wilson,
you were struggling all night to protect
in a minute 30, 2 minutes. Yeah, and at that point too, you would only be down 2 points, so you would need the field goal to win.
Like I said, offense.
Given that it's it would be a 20-yard field goal or an 18-yard field goal.
Hey, you got your mindset, your perspective. I got my perspective. There's nothing wrong with it, bro. Like I said, it's just difference of perspectives on it, man. If you're a defender, you think you can always get it done. If you're an offensive guy, you want the ball last. Nothing wrong with it, baby.